So again, we're back. Little glitch there. I'm Mary Sue Holton, and my phone is listed there for you to call me. Maybe not all hours of the day and night, but anyway, you're welcome to text. My office hours can be via email, or please let me know. Sometimes I am in town on Tuesdays and I'm in my office. So I would be happy to meet with you. Just email me and we'll set up a scheduled time. You can see my Min-State email connection there, as well as my Gmail. So you're free to do that as well. And my office is McLean Hall 261, room A. You'll see in the first section, following the information there, a course overview and learning outcomes. And you can read that for yourself. And other professors assume that you have had Speech 100, so that you are able to do presentations in their classes. So it's kind of a foundational class that will help you in your majors. One of the things I will add to this, and you can read that on your own, is my goal for you is to become young professionals, that you can go out into the world, present yourself well and very professionally, depending on the context of the audience and who's in the audience. So that is my goal for you, to be very professional as you leave and go into your vocation and your careers. There's a bit there in this section for education majors. Those of you who are, we have a variety of majors in this class. Please read that. It will help with your Board of Teaching objectives. The textbook is listed there as well, and we do need that right away, everyone. We hit the ground running with that. And so if you would go to the bookstore, these are published by our department. We do get royalties on the money, but we use it for things such as buying cameras and other such equipment that will benefit the students. The next section talks about Desire to Learn or Brightspace, and this is where you will access email from me as a class and where you will find all your course information. Again, I'll repeat once more. You would go to the materials section, go down to content, up should pop the syllabus and the first half of the class, listed by modes or weeks. I go by weeks of class. If there are technical issues, this section tells you who to contact. You're no good contacting me because I'm like asking a log what to do. So I would say go to the tech people. They are very, very good to help you, and you can go there in person. There's a phone contact and a support email as well. The course policies are a bit important to look at here. I say modules will be due each Thursday by 11:30 at night. That isn't always correct, but mostly we will do that schedule, but you need to look at every single assignment and read it carefully. I will try to return everything by the following week. I'm trying to be very quick turnover. A couple times I'm at a conference, which will be another part of the U.S., and I might be a little slower, but I'll let you know that. Your attendance is based on the discussion board postings, and you can read about those postings. The threads are already up for 5 of them for you. So that is your attendance participation grade, so to speak. Please try to keep up with assignments. It moves pretty quickly this first week. You have something due the first Thursday, everyone. And so you need to keep ahead of that, because late assignments is just too hard and your grade will have to be lowered for that. You'll need computer, internet, some type of sound that's good for me to hear, and dress professionally for your speech. If you're giving a speech on how to do Taekwondo or something for one of your speeches, you can certainly dress in your black belt or whatever it is that you have. And try for good lighting as you make your videos and not too distracting. And then there's a place to contact our department chair and the dean of the college if necessary. Academic honesty, please, if you cite your sources, make sure you cite them. If you didn't write it, cite it. And try to be vigilant about that. Many of you are older students, have been in your majors for a while, and you know how to do that. So you will be citing your sources within your speech as well as bibliography. There are problems if you are special circumstances, if a problem would come up for you in terms of a disability or something. Our tests are all open book, open note, and so if you have test anxiety, that should not be a problem for you. There's also a section of the school's policy on sexual violence and harassment. So if you are afraid at some point or someone puts you where you feel you are a bit in danger, this is how to report that. And we certainly hope that doesn't happen. and it doesn't happen often on this campus. There is my grading. You can see the scale there and look at that and see what you can do to meet your goals. I don't have a lot of extra credit written in, so try to keep your work up to date. Turn things in on time and completely. I'm going to take a little bit of time and look over the assignments, which is the next section. The first speech that you're going to be doing the first week, and will be due on Thursday by 11:30, is your introduction speech. This is a brief speech, and you will find the assignment in the content under Mode 1 or Week 1. Module 1, Week 1, that's your clue. And it will tell you what to do and what is expected of you. And you're introducing yourself. You don't need to find an outside audience. You're introducing yourself basically to me. I am your audience. The second assignment is an elevator speech, and that'll be 15 points, and that's a 30-second to a 1-minute pitch about yourself and your skills and abilities. That will be in Module 2 for Week 2, and you can look through that, and I included kind of a fun sample I found on YouTube that you might enjoy about how to do a good elevator speech from a working professional. Your third number there on your how-to speech demonstration, you will be doing an informative speech on how to do something. And I've included a couple samples there for you. One indeed is on self-defense. And these are off YouTube. There's some terrible examples on there, but there's some very good ones. So be careful what you model yourself after. Along with this major speech, which is, I believe, 90 points, you will be having a rough draft outline turned in, a final speech outline with a bibliography, and then after the fact, how did you do? A brief self-assessment paper of yourself. So all bundled together, it's worth more points. For this speech and for the following two, you need to find an audience of 3, over 18 years old, and it will be spelled out to you that at the end of the speech, you will have a brief Q&A with your audience, and they will give some responses to you as a speaker. So try to pick your friends, people who will be honest that you can assess yourself. So for the larger point speeches, 3 times you'll have to find an audience of 3, and the assignments explain how to do this. The other speech will be an informative, something other than a showing us how to do something. This could be the history of the Vietnam War. I've had, a lot of topics. Everything from serial killers to the historic reasons behind the writing of The Wizard of Oz. So you can pick something in your major that you find interesting. Again, this will include all those outlines, and assessment paper, and an audience of 3. The largest speech is persuasive, where you try to change our minds or motivate us to do something. And this has the most points. It has an annotated bibliography. We'll get to that later. Those of you in your majors probably know how to do this, where you describe your source briefly. And there'll be outlines again, and then the self-assessment paper, and again an audience of 3. So just to let you know, so you're ready with that. Your last speech of the semester is probably one of the most fun. It's a special occasion speech. You may do a tribute to someone that you know. You may introduce someone in terms of an introductory. You can do a wedding tribute. So all sorts of things you can do with that. You can give an award. You can accept an award, whatever you would like. And so that will be one that you do not need an audience for, and it will be worth 30 points. There's 2 exams, first semester and second, and those will be spelled out for you and written a short answer and a little bit longer essay. And so those will be turned in and also in the assignment and the assignment folder in D2L. You will also be doing a professional speaker evaluation, which is explained. I would love for it to be live, that you go to your church, you go and listen to a lecture, that you listen to someone who really is a good speaker and you do an analysis of this. However, if that isn't possible, I would accept a TEDx or some really good speech, graduation speech that you can find, some famous maybe sports figure, something like that, that you can analyze via your media channels. There are some participation activities that crop up here and there. I will let you know those. And then again, your discussion posts. Not often are these required, maybe 5 or so times, but keep in touch with, or keep up with those as well, so that you can get those points for your attendance. The tentative schedule is in front of you. This is how we tend to go. I go by weeks, so you can follow along. So week 1 in the content section will be called Module 1, Week 1. Simply goes our first 7-8 weeks to the first half of the semester. So you can see our topics. They roll along nicely with your text, so keep your reading up. And you can see, I think it's on, your exam will be due on week 5. So you can keep up with your reading, and then that will be when that first exam is due, and follow along on the right-hand side. And all of these are spelled out in your content section under the modules for the appropriate week. Right now, I think there are 7 modules up. I will do the rest when I see if I want to improve upon the rest or how we're going to do that. So it's not all in there. I'm giving you the week of Thanksgiving off, so I'm your favorite teacher, right? Okay, that's our fall break. At the very end of your syllabus, you will see a guide to creating your outlines for all of your major speeches. It's just a good way, it's a way that we teach how to do this, to keep your thoughts and your focus organized for your audience. So this is going to be a skeletal outline, and I will provide for you on your longer speeches a full-blown sample for you that will be found in the module area as well. So that if you have any questions about what is here, if you have to be gone or you're ill or some reason, just let me know, because I can make some exceptions if you can make a worthy case to me. But anyway, that is a look at the syllabus. And if you read this, I've assigned it for the very first week to read through it. If you have any questions, you can certainly email me directly or give me a call. So that ends our first presentation section on the syllabus or the blueprint of the class. Thank you very much.